for the very funny Sabrina Massa!
Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. Excited about that. Gonna be the big 2-9. Yeah, it's not that exciting. You don't have to pretend. Yeah, it is a weird age. You know, when I tell people I'm still single, I don't get the, oh, you're so young. You don't have to rush anymore. I get the look. The one that's simultaneously pity and trying to figure out what kind of crazy I'm hiding that keeps staring at me. And I don't think I'm the, oh, that's why you're still single kind of person. I know I'm super biased, but it's just that at my age, you know, all the good ones are either already taken or just not divorced yet. So, and that just makes it harder each year to continue to justify the long list of demands for my dream guy. Like at 21, you know, it was, he has to be 6'2", volunteered in an animal shelter, and have a credit score of at least 800. Now it's like, I will settle for a guy with 2 feet who has some form of shelter, and maybe, if I'm real lucky, $8. There are some things I'm holding on to though. I'm a Christian, so I do want to date a Christian guy, and that makes dating really weird. It brings a lot of just interesting things into dating. Temptation.
Yeah.
And have you heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages? Well, my love language is physical affection, so dating's real weird now. As a friend, I am a hugger, you know, you see me, give me a hug. As a person in a romantic relationship, you can tell me you love me, you can buy me diamonds, all that's great, but a good cuddle session's what's gonna give me the warm fuzzies. But a few years ago, I was dating this guy, and you know, you'd think that as soon as we're in a relationship, I'm just like, touch this. But for some reason, and I should tell you, I use the term dated very loosely. We went on 2 dates. So our first date was great. We met online, so we go and we have sushi, we got cheesecake, and we talked for hours, and it was real great. And then he asked me how many bridesmaids I thought I'd have at our wedding. So that's when things got weird. And when it came to preparing for our second date, I just had this off feeling, like I didn't really want to go out with him, but I'd already committed. This was before ghosting was socially acceptable, so so I started just feeling real nervous. I didn't want to go, but I couldn't back out, so I took myself out to lunch, and I was sitting and praying like the good Christian girl that I am, and I started to kind of daydream about what our date was going to look like. And looking back, I realized the nerves probably came a lot from the fact that our second date was this big, extravagant thing, where all of a sudden we are taking a ferry and spending the whole day in San Francisco. So, and it ends with this fancy dinner. Like there was a wardrobe change in our second date. What is up with that? So, yeah, I start daydreaming about how the date's gonna go, and I'm imagining being on the ferry, and like the bay breeze is in my hair, and the sun's on my skin, and he comes up behind me like Jack in Titanic, and I jump in the water because I have to. Because for some reason, there's just something about him where I did not want him to touch me. I don't know what it was. The relationship did not continue, obviously. So my last boyfriend, it was a little bit closer to a real relationship, but not quite. 2 months into actually dating, it was a legit, it wasn't 2 dates, it was like 5, okay? So 2 months into dating, he tells me he hasn't had his first kiss yet. And that should have been a red flag right there, but he looked like the lead singer of Fall Out Boy and also led a men's Bible study, so I was super able to justify a lot. Yeah, so we hadn't kissed. We'd been dating for 2 years. We still hadn't kissed, and thank you. I was able to justify a lot of it by his looks and the fact that I convinced myself he was, you know, sent from God. But it wasn't the case. We dated for 5 months. We held hands twice. It was real romantic. He didn't want to touch me. That's the point. I need physical affection. I tried to make it clear to him. He wasn't into it. So 5 months into me trying to make this clear that to continue a relationship with me, I needed more from him, and he said he'd try, he never did. 5 months. Decided it was time to let him break up with me. All that to say, it's my birthday tomorrow. Feel free to come give me a hug. affection.